My story begins in a small town in Northern California where I was raised by my grandparents. We did a lot of, as I call it, church shopping, and we went from Methodist to Lutheran, where I was baptized each time as well. And somewhere along that way, we seemed to step away from God. In those days, just bluntly, I did any drug, alcohol, anything like that. If it was supposed to be fun and a little bit was great, I did a lot because that would make it that much better. I ended up making some very bad decisions, and I had to take what I'm going to call a timeout from society. The legal system decided that I needed to spend some time away, and I did. And it gave me a lot of time to reflect and contemplate on what was going on in my life. But when I was released, I went back to the same old behavior. On my way to work every day, I'd go by a church. And I kept looking at it and looking at the marquee board and kept thinking to myself, I'm going to stop there someday. And I went to an auto parts store, went shopping. And then this is something that, if you believe in divine intervention and the hand of God touching you, you have to excuse me. It's real. I'm shopping in the auto parts store, and I'm walking up and down the aisle with my little basket of my goodies that I'm getting for my vehicle. And all of a sudden, I can't even explain to you what happened. It's almost as if I lost time. And I realized I was standing there, and people were kind of looking at me. And I looked at everybody and smiled, and I set my little basket down. And I turned and I went out the door. And on my way out, the clerk said, "Aren't you going to purchase any of these items?" I said, "No, I have something to do." I went home, I showered, I cleaned up. I wasn't dirty, but I put on better clothes. And I went to church. And when I got through the front doors, I started crying. I was an emotional wreck. I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't hardly say my name. And I left all of my ways. I walked away from drugs, from alcohol, from everything that I'd known that was comfortable. And life was a very good place for a long time. I met a very beautiful woman in our church. We got married later. We had children. And all I'm going to say is I got so consumed and overwhelmed by life that we drifted apart completely, the wife and I, and we got a divorce. I decided to just run the program, and I ran it for years. And things were going good. I had a very good life. I woke up one morning on the 4th of July and went to a bar and started to have the alcohol again. And at that point, things changed again. I was eating dinner one night and I was sitting and the phone rang, my cell phone. I looked over and it was my oldest son. When I answered the phone, I was let know it was not a good day. I was let to be known that my second oldest son, Jordan, had been killed in a car accident in California. And what it did is buried me deeper into my alcoholism. It pushed me further away from God because I couldn't understand why this had happened. And I became very distraught. And that lasted for a long time. And it hit me again. This is not the way to live. And I turned myself into a rehab facility. And I looked deep inside my heart and said, what do you really want in life? I didn't want riches. I didn't want monetary wealth or stuff on this land. I wanted peace of mind and knowing that I was doing the right thing and that I was a child of God and I would follow in His footsteps. And all I can say is I hope and pray for every soul out there that is contemplating which way to turn in life. Turn to God.